Last time on Speed Model, we got quite a lot of progress going. We've built an entire house from scratch by first drawing a floor plan, and we've basically, installed all the doors and cut out holes for the windows. In addition to that, we've also built our first piece of furniture. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna continue creating more pieces of furniture just to have a good idea of where everything goes. Once we have that, and once we understand how this space works, we can begin to actually finesse the smaller details. You're watching episode 2 of Speed Model. For this episode, the plan is to clean up any rough spots and to begin to model at least a rough version of all the furniture. That's why you can see me start off by fixing some Z fighting problems. Two planes were occupying the same space, creating a strange artifact. Deleting one of the planes solves this problem. This happens on both the bay windows. Once that's done, I begin to construct one of the most major pieces of furniture. This is going to be a little loop, consisting of a bar counter style dining table directly connected to the kitchen cabinet, which will in turn house the stove, oven, and sink. I know this is a little large, so I cheat with the overall proportions by making both the existing pieces of furniture smaller. Next up is the bed. I begin by constructing the bed frame, which starts off being a large cuboid but gets chopped up and shaped. I use extrusion to build some fancy legs for the bed frame. I lift up the sides of the frame a little, and it's time for the mattress to go on top. After considering the space a little, I scoot the bed closer to the window. I figured the raised portion of the window could be used as a bedside table. Then we move on to the bathroom, where I begin by building a very thin cuboid. This will serve as the shower door. I use two panels, which I intend to join up later with little bits of metal. I cut a hole in one of the panels, which will create a door. Space planning in the bathroom is challenging. While there appears to be sufficient room, there are actually several areas we cannot utilize, since the swinging doors are in the way. Eventually, I opted to have a sink attached to a little cupboard over near the shower. I also model a simple mirror attached to the wall. Then the toilet itself. To be honest, I was slightly nervous modeling this since I wasn't confident I could get the shape right. However, with several tries and extrusion of the mesh, it turned out pretty okay. I'm sure I could sell the effect after adding a seat later on. The next item I model is a little wardrobe for the bedroom. This one is also challenging thanks to the swinging doors. I take a while to finesse the scale of everything, but eventually managed to find a way to prevent the doors from hitting the bed frame. Next, I decided to take a break from drafting out the major objects to model a little stool for use at a bar counter. Unfortunately, it seems like I lost some footage, but basically the stool was created by simply extruding the edges of a thin cylinder. I began to cut holes in the kitchen counter mesh, pausing to ensure it didn't get in the way of the windows. I built a sink as well as some cabinet areas underneath. I do the same for the sink cabinet in the bathroom. In preparation for rendering, I've added some more light, and we're ready to take a better look at what we've built so far. With all major pieces of furniture in place, we now have a very good idea of how the space will be utilized. Of course, nothing is finalized yet, and some adjustments need to be made. For example, I realized editing this episode that I forgot to leave room for a fridge, so there'll be something on the radar for the next episode as well. What we have now tells us how the space will be utilized in general. Next time, we'll do more modeling to get some more secondary meshes into the scene. Once we have those, we'll be able to lock in the proportions of everything, which is important since at this point, we're just approximating the scale of things. And there you have it! That wraps it up for episode 2. Things are moving nicely along, so hopefully, well, we can keep going at this rate for the rest of the series. That's all there is for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in the last season of Speed Model. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.